Today's video is going to be talking about BattleState's new changes to the flea market bartering system. Namely, you can't barter on flea market coming soon. This video is aimed to discuss how these changes affect RMT and why it might actually be a good thing that you may not realize. Let's jump right into it. Let's have this discussion. First, we need to go over what RMT is. RMT is real money trade. It's the practice of giving real-life money for in-game items and services. Cheaters make their money off of selling boosts, carries, and items to people. Nikita and BattleState have been fighting RMT for a long time, implementing several changes to do so. One of the most important changes that they've made as of late or are intending to make is the ability to remove barter items from the flea. No more barters on the flea market helps with the fight against RMT because generally you can trade lower value items for much higher value items, as is the case with these barters. So I'm Joe Schmo. I go to EFTitems4Dogecoin.com and want to order a violet keycard. I pay them 6,942 Dogecoin and I get an email to put a barter up for the highest value item, find and raid that I have. In this example, I put up an order for an Eagle gunpowder, and the trade only cost me 140k in taxes. This is a workable model for RMT trade. Now, of course, cheaters have to pay a tax as well, but I don't think money is a problem for them. With the barter removal, all transactions have to go through liquid denominations, which forces the buyer and seller to exchange tangible money for the goods and services in-game, crippling the RMT trade. This change alone isn't enough to fix the RMT problem, but this is where I want to point out that BattleState is also now banning for people that bring in large amounts of gear for their friends in raid, and the annoying inability to drop items to your friends without them disappearing. All of these added up make RMT much more difficult and force cheaters to be boosting or carrying instead. Let's take the second part of the equation, the item examination removal from flea. How would this impact RMT in the short term? Good question. An item must be examined in order to purchase or trade it on the flea. Let's say you want the set of colored labs cards, so you pay the 6,942 Dogecoin and try to search for the colored key card on the flea to make the trade. Well, you haven't examined it, so now you can't make the transaction. RMT denied. Here's another example to think about. Say you're a cheater and you just had an account banned. You load up another account, go to your cheating friends and ask them to put up a flea barter for labs cards so you can get back on your feet on your new account. Now you can't do this. You're hamstrung from farming keycard rooms on labs for in-game rubles to sell for IRL money. This isn't in the game yet, but according to Noiskoy, there will be no need to examine items in the future as per Nikita, putting away that old system of needing to discover what an item is. I thought it was a cool feature of discovering items you hadn't seen before, but by my third wipe, I really could guess nearly every item in the game by its shape alone. Being able to go from level 1 to 3 from examining items on the flea is kinda cheesy. It's also just tedious to click through and examine the entire database in the game. I'm sure it consumes server resources and really should just be left behind for the future of Tarkov. My thoughts on this? We should probably lower the level requirement for flea to 10, considering the fact that barters are now down. Most in-game equipment can't even be bought on the flea. So I would be in favor of either removing the cap or just lowering it to 10. Now, the last thing I want to say is in the interim, not being able to get gun parts from the flea would be massive if you haven't examined them before. Since they're doing away with the examination feature, it's a moot point, but there is an adjustment period before they make all these changes that could be painful for some. That's all I got for this one. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel, and come say ahoy on Twitch. I'm live 6 days a week. I put a link in the description below. Captain K, signing out.